Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, over 1 million people lost their health care this year. Millions more will lose it in the next couple of years. And even those who are managing to keep their coverage are struggling. Their premiums are going up, and at the same time, so are their co-pays and deductibles. So they're paying more for less. And there is one reason and one reason only for this. And that is that up until this year, the Republicans controlled the White House and both houses of Congress. And even though they weren't able to completely end the Affordable Care Act, thanks to John McCain, they were able to do a lot of damage to it. Now the Democrats now control the House, so they can preserve what's left of the Affordable Care Act. But the damage has already been done. As a result, in the next couple of years, a lot of people are going to die or become permanently disabled simply because they can't afford to get injuries or illnesses treated. This is something that could be fixed, but Republicans are not interested in fixing it. As we've already seen, they don't have a plan. They just want to end the Affordable Care Act. That seems to make no sense, but actually, there is a certain kind of sense to it. Racism. Now, there was once a time when the Republican Party led the fight for civil rights. Lyndon Johnson would not have been able to get the Civil Rights Acts passed if it weren't for Northern Democrats and Republicans. The South at one time was called the Solid South because they would only vote for Democrats. And the reason why was because of Abraham Lincoln. But when Lyndon Johnson passed the Civil Rights Act, he became a Democratic version of Abraham Lincoln. And so the South began to turn against the Democrats. And Abraham Lincoln developed what he called the Southern strategy, which was to feed into that racism. Not to be overtly racist, but it was decided that the Republican Party would no longer support any civil rights efforts. Well, so they gained the South, and along with it, they gained a whole lot of racists. Right? And as the years have gone by, it's not just the South, but the Republican Party has racists throughout their ranks. The Freedom Caucus is all racist. You can look up Steve King. He's another racist. Steve Scalise, the second most powerful Republican in the House, once said that he was David Duke without the baggage. So that'll tell you all you need to know about him. So the Republican Party has been becoming more and more overtly racist. It's been gradual, but it's been happening. And now that Trump is in office, they're hardly making any effort to disguise their racism. But the problem that they're facing is that health care is becoming a huge issue in the next election. The Republicans would like to focus on the economy, except that won't really work for them because the economy is great for the rich. But the rest of us haven't gotten much out of it. That even though productivity is the highest it's ever been, workers are not being compensated for all that great productivity. So wages are stagnant. And as the healthcare situation keeps getting worse, these people are struggling. There are a whole lot of reports of people they don't get prescriptions filled. Or if they get their prescription, instead of taking the recommended dose, they're cutting pills in half or doing things like that because they can't afford to keep getting those prescriptions filled. They're missing doctor's appointments. I think 40% of Americans have reported that they have canceled the doctor appointment simply because they couldn't afford to do it. So, over the next couple of years, a whole lot of people will die, and other people will become permanently disabled because they simply couldn't afford to treat an illness. So, voting Republican is basically an indirect way of committing suicide. Thanks for listening. Well, I want to thank you all for watching my videos. But there are certain changes that Google has made to YouTube, which, since I'm a smaller channel, means that I can't monetize my videos. So I found places where I can. So instead of watching my videos here on YouTube, I'd appreciate it if you go either to Patreon or to Top Buzz. They let me monetize videos, and I don't even have to put commercials on. So, if you want to become a patron on Patreon, that's fine. If you don't, you can still watch the videos there. I've just kind of given up on YouTube. YouTube is just a place that I use so that I can put my videos in other places. So, Patreon, Top Buzz, the links are in the description box. Thanks a lot.